Law, I wanted to do a quick review on The Martian I just watched last night. Just talk about the coding that's used, because yesterday I did a video about simulation theory, and the kicker for that was Matt Damon speaking at MIT talking about simulation theory and talking about all this other stuff and how they use Hollywood to sell agendas, sell stories, and also act out these subliminal rituals, and code your mind, code your consciousness with different versions of storylines that are being told that they want to tell, and basically code your spirit, so you can think and act a certain way in reference to the system that's in place here. One of the main things that I saw mentioned a number of times in this movie was him refer to the maritime law. I think it was like 3 or 4 times. He actually calls himself a pirate on there while he's looking through these laws in his head about like commandeering something like that, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, they're taking their laws to these other places. It's just basically trying to bulk themselves up. That's what this whole movie was about. It was about making NASA look real, first of all, making NASA look like a bunch of superheroes, and making this agenda look more real as a whole. Just like try to be what it's basically the same as the moon landing. What the moon landing did for NASA, what the moon landing did for the United States, how it changed a whole lot of political things. So this is what the new moon landing agenda is, Hollywood now. So they don't have to put it on television with these things. They can just make movies with it and then put it in your face, subliminally sell you an idea, and then tell you that it's secret in real life, and then act it out in a certain way behind the scenes, and they can't show you because of whatever. And when you have people like Elon Musk out there now, it just gives them another way to sell information and another way to hide information. So Elon Musk out there talking about, yeah, we're gonna send humans to Mars in 2024, which is basically like next week. So when you hear 2024, that's 8 years away. That ain't nothing. So that's like a stone's throw from today. Yeah, so these storylines are intermingled together. You have him also talking about, within a few days of each other, talking about simulation theory. And so this whole thing is, he was also very like sketchy in that interview. It was weird. I haven't put my finger on it yet, but there was something going on there. So yeah, these individuals that they put in front of you as your superheroes, that's what The Martian was all about. It was like, get Matt Damon on there to act out these make astronauts look relevant again, make astronauts look real, like make them look like they can do things that other people can't do. And yeah, so he's on there, and one of the first things he does, which is totally part of their ritual, is out of all the things that he could be doing on Mars, he goes to Mars, and he has to make a fire, and he has to make fire to make water. So he's burning hydrogen, and what he uses to make fire is Martinez's cross. So the only melanated individual on there, he goes and grabs his cross and burns it on Mars. Like, you can't tell me this stuff is not coded. He refers to the days on Mars as a soul, and when you look at all this stuff, how it's coded, it's not a mistake. It's not a mistake that Matt Damon goes on Mars and burns a cross. This is not a mistake. This is a ritual. Like, they are telling you that your connection to your creative intelligence, your most high, is worth burning to send people to Mars to live on another illusion. So basically, what this whole thing is saying is that they are burning your connection to your creator in order to sell you an illusion. And the fucked up thing is that NASA is run on tax dollars. So when they sell you this bullshit ass agenda, these bullshit ass stories with Hollywood, which you also have to go pay to go see, when they sell you these storylines, they are reinforcing your belief in NASA, reinforcing your need to pay taxes to these individuals who are basically just another version of Hollywood selling you some fake ass moon landing stuff in order for you to follow the next agenda. And they code this stuff telling you, yeah, we're going to go to Mars in 2024. NASA is going to team up with Elon Musk and send some people to Mars and make some big make some big story about, how this is relevant, how this is real. But basically it's about putting your focus, your present moment out into the future. That's what all NASA is about. That's what the university system is about. That's what politics is about. Oh, we'll fix it in the future. All these promises that Obama made, all these promises that all the presidents have made, all the promises that NASA has made, all the stuff. Even like, you can even see like, I was talking about this the other day, when they talk about finding dinosaur bones, or they talk about finding a full, like they talk about finding things like a woolly mammoth fully intact, and then it was like in ice, and they can do all these genetic things and reproduce this and do all kinds of stuff with that, but they never show you. They say, oh, in the future we'll be able to do this, but you're already programmed. Like, you already have the program in your head that these so-called scientists can do something like this. So that's the intent of this program, is to make you think up to a certain level. So the story is to sell you 100% of a story, to make you believe 100% of a reality. But really they're only banking on you believing in 40 or 30%, and then they'll sell you a whole bunch of 40 or 30% storylines from different angles to create your 100% reality. So talking about dinosaurs, talking about saber-toothed tiger, the woolly mammoth, is talking about Lucy and Neanderthals. All this is talking about the 100% bullshit story of monkey evolution. Like, that's all to back up the monkey evolution theory to sell to you. So when they talk about the Martian, and they're talking about SpaceX, and they're talking about Fantasia, Fantasia in the movie selling the dinosaur story again. When they're selling all these different versions of stories in the university system, they're selling you the Big Bang theory. They're selling you all these different versions from different angles, with half stories and half science, and saying, oh, well, sometime in the future we'll be able to do this. They've been saying that shit since the 60s. Yeah, in the 80s we'll hope to be doing this. In the 90s we'll hope to be doing this. In 2000 we'll hope to be doing this. Like, they'll say that it's a constant, it's a spell. It's literally a spell. And when they spell things out in here, like burning the cross, like, it's not necessarily speaking on, I'm not coming at it from like talking about religion necessarily. I'm speaking on what that cross represents energetically as a whole. And when you see, like, of all the things that could have been written into this script, he has to go find Martinez's cross and burn it in order for him to survive on this artificial planet, to tell this story again, like, so he can grow some fucking potatoes on Mars. And each day is referred to as a soul a soul day. Like, these are all programs, especially with like what Mars actually means, the fiery planet, the god of war, and all this stuff. And it's ridiculous. These things are super coded for you to think and act a certain way. And the fucked up thing is that, oh, well, one of the jacked up things is, like, NASA is run on tax dollars. Like, for one level of thinking, when you're talking about money and all that bullshit anyway, like, people are funding basically Hollywood to lie to you, to tell you fairy tales. Like, this whole thing was a fiction. This whole thing was literally, like, they even called it a comedy. It was nominated for, I don't know, one of those dumbass awards in the comedy genre. Like, this is a joke to them. And we pay for this shit to go see it in Hollywood, and we pay taxes, which is another version of Hollywood for them. And then they build it up, like, they get the politics involved, they get people, these different actors involved to make you believe that it's true, and then put it out. And like, this was all acted out in public. This was the whole thing about this. It's like he was stuck on Mars, and yeah, it was all a big public thing. And he's typing back, sending a text message from Mars talking about, I'm okay, or come get me, or whatever they're doing. And then every single actor that you see on there, like, I think one of the main guys in there was from 12 Years a Slave. So they just reinforce these stories. And he's also like a subordinate to Jeff Daniels, who's fucking Dumb and Dumber. Like, he's the guy in charge of NASA. They used the guy from Dumb and Dumber to be in charge of NASA. It's ridiculous. I mean, every movie, every actor's bio, like videography, or all their movies, all the shows that they're in, all the interviews that they do, all the timings of these movies, all this stuff is one storyline. we see it as like separate storylines, but no, they sell one big storyline. And if you look at all the movies, all the interviews, all this stuff, and now it's mixing in with the so-called real world, real life stuff. When you hear like Elon Musk, like he just came on the scene recently, like 25 years ago, Elon Musk wasn't at all. Nobody knew who he was or what he was doing or anything, but now he's like this big dude. Like he's the guy talking about space and all this, SpaceX and all this shit. And we're going to Mars. Like, who the fuck are you? Where'd you come from? Like, so these individuals, they create these individuals with these cameras. They create these superheroes with these cameras, and they create these storylines, fictional storylines, to be sold as nonfiction. And they're blurring the lines even more so now because they have to get more and more, and they get to get deeper into your consciousness, so you can buy more bullshit, like a deeper layer of bullshit. So they have to merge NASA with Hollywood more openly, because when they did the space landing, it wasn't Moon Landing Hoax, it wasn't as obvious that they were merged with Hollywood, which is why they made Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001 Space Odyssey that came out in 1968. When you see that, and you see how so-called realistic that looks, which came out a year before this fake moon landing, you can see why it was banned in the United States at that time. And because people would have been like, well, they could have easily faked it. If they can make that movie, they can easily fake some moon landing. So, yeah. Mars, the Martian, is just the new moon landing hoax. And when you get the actual actor of the Martian, come out and start talking about NASA and what science is all about, he actually makes this real for you. Like it's when they're talking about this virtual reality shit, this is a big ass joke. Like, the movies are a virtual reality, but they are selling it to you as a reality. So when they have the actors of a virtual reality come into your face and say, yeah, this is all, real. I'm working with Elon Musk and we're going to go to Mars in 2024, and these actors are going to tell you everything that you need to know about space and science and your reality. It's a big joke that's being played with people's lives. People are dying. The tax money that goes to NASA, $10 billion a year, that money is being forcibly stolen from people living all over. But when you look at the poorest people, when people living in the inner cities who don't have food to feed their kids because they have to send money to Matt Damon and the NASA program so they can sell lies to the populace as a whole. That's fucked up. When kids can't eat, when kids can't get clothes, when kids can't get art materials, when kids can't do stuff because they have to pay this ridiculous Queen of England tax filtered through NASA and Hollywood / Matt Damon. Yeah, it's fucked up. No food on the table because Matt Damon took it so he can build a fake garden and grow some funky ass potatoes on Hollywood Mars. This literally is a comedy to them. Playing disco music. Some of the most coded shit out there right in our faces. So that's pretty much it. They are playing with people's souls. And it's not a joke. It's only a joke to them. Because they have no empathy, no compassion for people. And when they're burning the cross, setting all the religious stuff aside, just talking specifically right now about your creator and what science represents as far as the atheistic perspective of separating you from your meaning, your purpose, your understanding of a creator or a God, space, most high, whatever you want to call it as a whole. When you realize that this is the design of NASA, this is the design of the university science community and the Big Bang Theory, the evolution theory, when you realize that all this stuff is designed to separate you so they can own you, so they can be your God. When you realize this stuff and then you see that they call each day a soul on Mars, and you see that they're burning the cross, you see all this shit in order for them to build grow some fucking potatoes in a Hollywood studio on so-called Mars. Yeah, these are magicians of the worst kind. And they're playing people. So, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share that little review. And, link it in with how they're selling like these new age transhumanist agendas. This is how they're going to get people to buy into this NASA, SpaceX, new age bullshit, new age religion stuff, and totally forget about like Earth. So this is how they got to do. They got to go into space, so-called space, to separate you from understanding like the creative intelligence within this Earth plane. And we're so distracted and busy that we don't even pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes. We can't question this stuff because we trust Matt Damon. He was in Good Will Hunting. He was just on MIT. He was friends with Robin Williams. I like Robin Williams. He's cool. Back to work. Did he just burn a cross on Mars? Oh yeah, but he needed to make a fire on the fire planet. He needed to stay alive. And he made it. Thank God. Matt Damon made it. He survived. Oh, spoiler alert. That's pretty much it. You need to see that stupid ass movie anyway. I didn't want to watch it. It just pissed me off the whole time. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Till next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.